I thought, oh, I'm golden. I've got you money. The state can't touch me. The state can't tax me. I'm just gonna live here on the Gold Coast and in my little van and enjoy the beach for the rest of my life. And then 2020 happened. And I was like, oh shit, my money is worth absolutely nothing if I don't have other forms of sovereignty in my life. And I think this is where the whole discussion about El Salvador comes into it. El Salvador was one of the few countries that opened up very earlier than most other countries around the world, and said, yeah, you know what? We may not just be the biggest fans of, what has happened over the past couple of years, and we're going to actually change our stance. We're going to now advocate for natural medicines. I'm going to be really careful what I say here so we don't get booed off all the different platforms, but El Salvador made a flip, and they said, you don't require any tests to come into the country. We're going to give you sovereignty and autonomy over your body. So that has brought not only a lot of Bitcoiners who have financial sovereignty to come to El Salvador, but it also brought some other nomads. A lot of surfers are here in El Salvador that have never heard about Bitcoin. And they come here and they're like, hang on, there's a lot of really cool surfers here in El Salvador who seem to be not just really cool guys, but they're also interested in this other form of sovereignty, financial sovereignty. And eventually you're just going to see this merging where you see people who are interested in financial sovereignty start mixing with these people who are interested in geographical sovereignty. Mexico's another little hub spot for this. There's a lot of, you can get a lot of personal sovereignty in Mexico. They leave you alone. The borders were open the whole time throughout 2020 and 2021. And there's also a lot of Bitcoin adoption there. I don't think that's a coincidence. I just think this is a natural way of how this Renaissance 2.0 is going to happen.
I really liked what you were saying at our launch party about how, like you said, financial, geographical, and you also mentioned entrepreneurial sovereignty and how important that was, because you gained your financial sovereignty with Bitcoin. And then did you start your creator journey before or after the 2020 shenanigans with the governments?
Yeah, so it was actually after I realized the importance of geographical sovereignty. So again, a high level for people to try to simplify all of this. The whole thesis of my new book that I'm writing right now is the digital renaissance man is exploiting the 3 exponential trends in the world today. So we're seeing an exponential trend of people wanting financial sovereignty with Bitcoin. Tens of millions of users have adopted Bitcoin in the past 15 years. It's an exponential trend. I think it's close to hitting that steep part on the S-curve. So that's one aspect of sovereignty, financial sovereignty. Then you've got geographical sovereignty. So digital nomads right now is one of the fastest growing trends in the world. 6 years ago in 2018, there was 4 million digital nomads. Today there's 35 million digital nomads.
Really?
People are saying, I want geographical sovereignty. The third exponential trend going exponential today is people quitting the 9 to 5 and creating a business. So I'm looking for a better word. Maybe we can brainstorm a better word for entrepreneurial sovereignty, but that's what I've got right now.
Well, yeah, like my program's called Creator Sovereignty. You become a creator. You create content, you monetize it in some way, shape, or form. Solopreneur is another term that goes around, but we were talking about that today. Like being a solopreneur is depressing.
Yeah, one of the coolest aspects of what's happened here is the fact that we all live on the same street and we're all building together, and like the synergy that's created over there has allowed us to create something that we wouldn't have been able to do on our own. And when you're a solopreneur, it also can get lonely and you're limited. So, I think the next wave is these, sovereign-minded individuals connecting with one another through digital means, through, the connectivity of the internet, and then realizing, hey, like there's something here. We can build something together. Let's link up in the real world and let's do something. And so I think that, people think of sovereignty as kind of like independence, almost like self-reliance, but I think that human beings really do better when we're building off each other. And so I think that's the next wave of sovereignty, is this like conscious, these conscious alliances forming in order to create something that's grander than ourselves.
Which is funny because it's almost like a return to our roots as humans, like tribal and community oriented.
Exactly. But here's the magical thing about the internet and the digital age and the sovereign individual renaissance we're living through today. If we wanted to go back to our community and our roots 200 years ago, and if we wanted to try to find a community or people with the same values as us, we were limited because of our transportation. We didn't have any internet. We didn't have any telecommunications. If we wanted to learn from someone, the smartest person on building businesses, we could only reach out to our network in our physical locality. So we needed to find the best person on business within a 20-kilometer locality. Now with the internet, we can not only listen to somebody who could be the best business entrepreneur in India, Nigeria, America, California, they could be anywhere around the world. We could not only listen to them, we could get on a video call with them, or even better yet, we could take our fuck you money, get on a plane and go and see them in a 5-hour plane trip. So I think this is like the magic of, this digital renaissance we're living through.
It's the dematerialization, the rate in which our innovation and our ability to communicate and pass information and now pass value is really accelerating how much things are happening. And I think that's a testament to also what's happening in El Salvador. And things are getting better here. Clearly, there's like this beacon of hope and opportunity, and there's property rights and free speech and all this stuff. And so people are pumped. Everyone's excited. Hey, what's going on? I have people asking me all the time, like, what's it like down there? Is it for real? And everybody in the States is worried, like, oh, dude, things are getting bad. How bad is it going to get? It's like, how good is it going to get in El Salvador? How bad is it going to get everywhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the narrative. Like, how shitty is it going to be? Which politician is going to get into office? Everyone's divided in the States over what person is going to get elected to allocate the stolen resources. It's like, could you guys pay attention to the fact that they're robbing you to fund things that otherwise you wouldn't want to fund? Like, they're misallocating capital. It's destroying the culture. And the exact opposite thing is happening here.